welcome to Cox Local Edition on CNN Headline News. I'm Catherine Falk with Cox Communications. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're thrilled to have the Superintendent of Fairfax County Public Schools, Jack Dale, join us again today. Thank you for being here. Let's talk about the economy. The economy is having a devastating effect in so many different sectors. What about on the Fairfax County Public Schools? Are you anticipating budget cuts?
Absolutely. And the economy hitting us from, as you say, from multiple perspectives. We lose state funding, we lose federal funding, we lose local funding, and so all of it comes together, although the federal stimulus has now mitigated any of the federal loss. But we are anticipating a significant increase in class sizes. I say significant, it's in the neighborhood of on a half on an average, but what it amounts to is we're going to have mixed third and fourth grade classrooms, second and third grade classrooms. We won't be offering some advanced placement, foreign languages in schools. Those kinds of things are the consequence of removing hundreds of teachers from the classroom staffing. And then we're also increasing our workloads for our counselors, our psychologists, our social workers, our librarians. Everybody is having to pitch in and actually do more, or we're going to be able to do less is really probably what it'll come down to as well.
And what kind of magnitude of dollars are you looking at?
We're planning for about $150 million deficit from what we have currently. We are going to be going up about 4,000 students, but our overall spending will actually decline. So we'll actually spend fewer dollars per student next year than we did this year. But it's a consequence of not having as many teachers, librarians, counselors, psychologists, social workers, special education, ESOL teachers, career and technology teachers, the list goes on. We're looking at probably a net effect of over 800 fewer positions in the organization. The bulk of, percentage-wise, the bulk of which is central office. It's about a 5% reduction in central office, about 1% reduction of positions in the schools, but nevertheless, grand total is in the neighborhood of 800 fewer positions.
Wow, and what about stimulus money? Will that help you bridge the gap?
There's two sources of the federal stimulus package. One goes through the state, and the state then restores some of our funding. So instead of losing state aid of about 23 million, we had, or 25 million, we have about 23 of that restored. And then we're all of us in the nation are experiencing about a 50% increase in Title I funding, which is for schools with children from poverty, and special education funding, about a 50% increase there. Both are wonderful, but they're very targeted for good purposes, but it doesn't help me with social workers and classroom sizes, et cetera. So it's very targeted, but a good target because it's for needy kids.
And you mentioned the effect on families, and families' effects of homelessness and things like that are having an impact on you as well.
Yeah, we have quite an increase in homelessness, and it impacts us in this manner. We are required to continue to provide the same location of schooling for that child. So if no matter where they go to a shelter, another place, families, friends, when they're homeless, we will still transport them back to their home school. That increases our transportation cost, typically in the magnitude of millions of dollars. It's a good thing for that child, but it does hit our budget. The other thing we're seeing is an increase in people transferring from private schools back into the public schools. So overall, we're planning for about a 4,000 student increase. And had the economy not gone this way, we probably would not have seen that kind of an increase. But 4,000 out of our 170,000, while maybe a small percentage, still translates into literally hundreds of positions that we have to cover.
And will this mean cut positions, layoffs in the schools?
We are, as I said, reducing about 800 positions, most of which will be taken care of by attrition, but there are some clearly in the central office, in our technology department, and maybe in some of our special services that will end up having to lay people off.
Wow, lots going on. Superintendent Dale, how can community members and parents find out more about the great things going on in the school system?
First thing, go to our website, and we have a great resource there. And if you're interested in the budget, there's access there to what we're proposing. And you can also contact the Board of Supervisors on the funding side.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on Cox Local Edition on CNN Headline News. Have a great day.